quick question about the Harry and Meghan, because Tom Bauer, who's, barn burner of a book about the royal family, and was #1 everywhere, he was on with our mutual friend Dan Wooten talking about Harry's autobiography, which is slated for release, I guess now this November. And according to Dan and others, the royal family does not want to see the publication of this book. They fear and believe that it's going to be very negative about the royal family. And now, given the fact that the Queen just died, the timing is far from ideal. So Bowers goes on with Dan during GB News's royal coverage, and here's what happened.
In the end, it's down to whether Harry and Meghan are prepared to apologise to Kate and William. My suspicion is, I'm convinced they won't apologise. Even worse, I'm told tonight that Harry is insisting that his book is published in November.
You're kidding.
Absolutely, it's absolutely astonishing. He's insisting. Apparently the publishers are not too certain, but he says that if they don't publish, he will breach a contract. That's what I'm told. And it's extraordinary, because I think that's, but on the other hand, it fits the bill, because Harry and Meghan's finances depend entirely on the book and on Netflix. And also, I think they're convinced they're in the right, and they want to get their own back. And I think that part of the problem getting them to come out on that walk yesterday was very much because they can't decide whether they should appear or not. After all, they didn't plan to be here for a funeral. They thought they were coming for just a visit to promote themselves. They've been caught up in it.
What do you make of that, Nigel? He comes out with this book.
Tom Bauer is the biographer of our times, written the most incredible books about members of the royal family, about big business figures, political figures, Boris Johnson, Richard Branson, you name it. I'm very pleased that it wasn't him, but somebody else that wrote a big biography about me, because Tom Bauer is really good at putting his finger on those personality flaws. And by the way, we all have them, of course. We all have them. So would Harry go ahead with this book? Well, think about this. When the Oprah Winfrey interview happened, right, Harry and Meghan knew that his grandfather was at death's door. They knew that Philip was not going to make his 100th birthday, and that was only 10 weeks away, and they still went ahead with the interview. This trip to the UK, they came here this time. Meghan gave a speech up in Manchester. They went to Dusseldorf for an event. Do you know, they weren't even going to go and visit the Queen on this trip. And I thought Charles's words in the King's speech were very interesting. He talked about Kate, or Catherine, as we're now branding her, and William as the new Prince and Princess of Wales. But when he referred to Harry and Meghan, he didn't call them the Duke and Duchess of Sussex. No. He talked about my love for Harry, Meghan, and their family, who are now building their new life overseas. This is what King Charles III said. And I read into that, you're living on the west coast of America. We want nothing to do with you. Please stay there.
Interesting. Well, I did think it was interesting that Meghan comes over. She goes out there to sort of shake the hands of people. And let's be honest about it. Meghan and Harry made the Queen's last 2 years much more difficult than they needed to be. I mean, there's something galling about seeing them glad-handing with the mourners when name me somebody else who caused more agita to the poor Queen in her last 2 years of life than those two. Right? I mean, it's just...
It was so disrespectful. It was so wrong in every way. But I'll tell you what's interesting. The Queen's body is going to arrive, Queen's coffin will arrive at Buckingham Palace in about 2.5 hours' time. Okay? And there will be a military detachment, of course. There will be the King and the Queen Consort. There will be the Prince and Princess of Wales. But the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will not be there. And what this tells you, through the words that King Charles used, through the very fact they will not be there to meet the Queen's body as it arrives in Buckingham Palace, and goodness me, what a somber emotional moment that's going to be in 2.5 hours. But the fact they're not there tells you everything. The firm, as the royal family have known, have effectively excommunicated them because they know Harry will go ahead with this book, do it to make money, and do his best, not just to damage the monarchy and his own father and brother, but he'll do it because he wants to damn the United Kingdom, the British around the world. I've never seen such disloyalty in all of my life. Quite what Meghan's done to him, how it's come to this, I simply don't know.
She was glad-handing with the mourners the other day, and it made news that a few of them refused to shake her hand. You can see it in the video. A couple of women just looked down or didn't extend the hand. And now you've got Meghan's followers on Twitter. And we're showing the video for the people who watch us on YouTube. The woman putting on her sunglasses avoids Meghan. Then there's a woman in a dark blue shirt with gray hair who clearly does not want to shake her hand. And now you've got all these people on Twitter accusing these women, wait for it, of racism. That they're racists because they...
Do you know what? Aren't we getting slightly bored with all this?
Yes.
I mean, the use of this word. I mean, we should stop do you know what? We should stop even worrying about it. It's become utterly meaningless. It's a substitute for any form of engagement or intelligent debate. And I think we've got to just stop worrying about all these attacks. They mean nothing.
Mm-hmm. What do you make of the Oprah thing? Because I will say Oprah weighed in on Meghan and Harry today. I mean, she was in on ground zero of the racism accusation Meghan and Harry launched against the royal family. And now Oprah's calling for sort of a healing moment. We have the soundbite in an interview she gave to Extra. It's soundbite 1.
We lost another trailblazer this week, the Queen. Of course, and you sat down with Meghan and Harry. We're seeing the 4 of them together now in London. Is there a hope out there that in some way her passing would be a way to unify the family, maybe heal some wounds?
Well, this is what I think. I think in all families, my father passed recently this summer. Mm-hmm. And when all families come together for a common ceremony, the ritual of, burying your dead, right, there's an opportunity for peacemaking. Yeah. And hopefully there will be that.
Yeah. Well, that is true, of course. Yes, I mean, there's barely a family on the planet where someone's not speaking to someone. I mean, that's just the way families. Well, it's true, isn't it?
Very true.
And then we all come together. It's the uncle's funeral or whatever it is, and we all come together, and it is an opportunity for rapprochement to be made. And there was a minor rapprochement when William reached out, and they went out, as you say, in Windsor and looked at the flowers and met some of the mourners there. But it has no long-term future if he's going to go ahead with this book. So, Oprah, sorry, I'm not with you at all. And can I just say also, she must be the worst interviewer on the planet. The idea that Oprah Winfrey is this big genius. Well, so what happened with that interview was, of course, the first half of it was with Meghan. Halfway through, Harry gets dragged in, directly contradicts some of the things that Meghan has said in the first half, and Winfrey didn't even pick up on it. So I'm not particularly impressed with her ability to do interviews and to find out the truth.
Have you ever had a friend who's just naturally talented at things? They just pick up a sport or a hobby. They immediately become good at it. They make it look easy. If you don't have that friend, it's you. And we all secretly despise you. The good news is no matter who you are, you can make great food look easy with Good Ranchers. See, Good Ranchers sources the highest quality meat in America. Number 1, best. And more importantly, they can prove it. Each piece of meat is from real American farms and is hand cut and trimmed by real American workers. They only source from farms that meet their standards of excellence, which means it's pasture raised. That's what you need to be looking for. No antibiotics ever, and no added hormones. Good Ranchers is so confident in the quality that they sell, they're going to have a 100% satisfaction guarantee on every box they ship to you. Plus, you can use my code, Megyn, to get free shipping and $30 off on your first order. They have won awards like Best Food Subscription, and they have been part of the INC 5,000 list, Inc. 5,000 list of America's fastest growing companies. But their mission is still the same, bringing everyone to the table to share in the best of what makes life good. If you want the best, if you want to be the best, if you want everybody to envy you and your cooking skills, go with Good Ranchers. Visit goodranchers.com/Megyn, that's Megyn, to save on American meat delivered right to your door. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.